not all conversations are easy when you're a manager to your artist. You know, you sometimes need to give them some news that's going to be hard for them to hear, you know, but it's just part of the everyday business.
You were talking about publishing a little bit. Can you talk to me just about, because as a songwriter and as a manager, how are you talking to your clients, you know, about publishing, and what are the best type of publishing deals to do, especially when you have such motion?
Yeah. I think most artists, most, you know, producers and songwriters, they still want the big, you know, co-publishing check, you know, the co-publishing deal check. You know, I think the smartest thing to do is to get an admin deal.
Yeah.
You know, 90-10 split, 92, 7.5, 10, you know, 7.5% split. 95, 5. Yeah. You know,
explore you.
Hey, come on, keep
come on, John.
But no, I think, listen, there's no right or wrong answer, especially if you have a great partner. We have great partners, Warren Chappell with Shabuzi, APG with Bozzy, and Sony with Paul. You know, we've definitely diversified in that way, and we're able to do great deals, you know, for our guys. That we're all happy, you know, with those deals, the co-pub deals. You know, and I you know, we'll see what happens in the future.
Yeah.
But yeah, admin deals are the smartest thing to do.
Yeah.
But the check isn't as big up front.
No, but I mean, on the back end, you know, you're going to get more at the end of the day,
especially if you're patient.
Right. If you're patient, building the catalog, and who knows, because how streaming goes, you know, there is you got big money coming into the music business, buying catalog, you know, with assets under management of billions of dollars. So like, there's even more upside if you do ever decide to sell. You have the option, essentially.
Absolutely.
All right.
Absolutely.
I think something that you said is really important, going back to just like the relationship that you have with Jeremy and Jay.
Yeah.
I posted something on my Instagram the other day where I was like, I put these quotes up every now and again.
Love the quotes, man. That's my favorite.
Oh, thank you, man.
Yeah.
I seen you like one, and it was, and I actually wanted to talk about it. I think you like the one where I said it's 20% talent, and so in order for it to have like a hit record is 20% talent, 40% who you know, 40% if those people who you know like you. It could be interpreted in many ways.
Sure.
The way that I was thinking about it is, of course, you need talent, I think, to have a hit record. But when I say 40% of the people that you know, I think about that in terms of those other talented individuals in the studio with you, making the record. And I think something else that's very important is like, you can't just get into the studio with a massive, maybe you can, I don't know, you would know better than me, and this is what I wanted to ping back to you, but it's like, if the vibe isn't right in the studio and you don't like each other, it's going to be a lot harder to make great music. Maybe?
All right, everybody, we're going to take a little break, because if you're listening and thinking, fuck, I could really use some guidance right now, and you're serious about building your career in the music industry, I'm now offering private strategy sessions. These are fully personalized, just you and me tackling whatever you need in your career. With over 16 years of experience working with artists, managers, and brands, I can help you map out your next moves. Now, whether that's structuring your team, scaling your brand, navigating the industry, even figuring out what steps to take, whether to go to a distributor or to a record label, and figuring out what are the best deal points, I can help you with your career with where you're at. You can now book a one-on-one with me through my Calendly, and you can find the link in the description. Now let's get back to the pod.
Maybe it's funny, man. Like, I think it depends on you. Like, they're real professionals. You know what I'm saying? It's like, all right, I don't necessarily like this artist that much, but I'm gonna give him a smash because I'm trying to make some money. You know, or I'm gonna give him a smash because I love their art. You know what I'm saying? You don't necessarily need to like the person, you know, to like the art.
Okay.
So yeah, I don't know. I don't think you
even.
I think most of the time you need to like them, but you know.
Well, I would say, okay, maybe if we're looking at it in terms of like building a strong relationship with a
right, then yes, absolutely.
You know,
absolutely.
Having a great energy in the room is so important when you're going.
Very important. You know, it's funny, when I was a writer, I'm walking in the room smiling. You know, I'm waiting on the artist. So like, it's okay. They can be 2 hours late. You know, chill here, watch Purple Rain. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think it's important to just keep good energy, good vibes.
Yeah. And would you say the same thing as well as a manager? You know, when you're managing these artists, you got to make sure that you're keeping good energy because
100%.
yeah. Can you tell me about it?
I mean, I think I've taken that into my my days as a writer. You know, I care a lot. I care a lot about my clients. I care a lot about winning. I want to win. I'm a winner. Um, and you know, I try to take that good energy, that positive vibe, and into a call,
Mhm.
into a meeting. Um, you know, not all conversations are easy when you're a manager to your artist. Um, you know, you sometimes need to give them some news that's going to be hard for them to hear. You know, but it's just part of the everyday business.
Yeah. How do you approach that?
I usually just tell them up front, hey, I need to tell you something, you know, or we need to talk about something you're not gonna like, but I'm gonna tell you anyway because I have to,
Mhm.
you know.
Mhm.
And I think immediately they're like, okay, you're gonna tell me something, you know. It disarms people, and not just artists. I think it's like you're upfront. It's like, hey, this is a conversation we need to have, but um, and it may not be what you want,
Mhm.
but I think when you start like that, we're gonna figure it out together. Um, you know, it lessens the blow a little bit.
Well, you said that these are your partners, and somebody I spoke to, Tyler Henry, a mutual friend of ours, but
Yeah.
also your partner
Yes, sir.
at Range, says something very important about you, and which I think is true. He says that you're a natural born leader.
Oh wow, that means a lot to me.
Where does that come from?
I think it comes from basketball, actually.
Okay.
You know, basketball is a game, a sport that tells you a lot about a person. You know, it you can be a very aggressive offensive scorer. You can be a defender. You can be a guy that just gets out there, does all the dirty work. And I think your personality is exposed on the basketball court. So I really I like to be the leader. I like to be the guy who was like, come on, we got this. It's all right. You know, a little bit of a cheerleader,
Yeah.
you know.
You can't hide that, of course. 5 people there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that's just my personality. I'm you know, for Tyler to say that it means a lot to me. Tyler is someone I look up to. You know, I think he's a great manager.
Yeah, absolutely.
And done some really great work. I believe he's #1 right now with Party Next Door and Drake. I think the album was #1. Something I saw.
It's about, if it's not #1 right now, it's about to be.
It's about to be.
Yeah.
Shout out to Toronto.
Shout out to Toronto. You are an honorary Canadian as well.
Hey, I'll take it.
You're married to Canadian music royalty, and if you know.
I am. Thank God. You know,
Yeah.
Thank God I am.
Yeah. By the way, she just put out a project as well too, or she's a few songs.
Yeah.
It's sounding great.
Thank you. Yeah,
You guys gotta check that out. Fiona.
Yeah, Mona Lisa Smile just dropped. It's a great song. You know, co-written with by another friend of mine, Lil Eddie from back in the day. You know, I remember writing records with him in 2005. You know, so
Wow.
yeah. God, I had it in 2005.
Okay.
2006. Yeah, she is Canadian royalty.
Yeah,
Sure.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, listen, Tyler is one of the best managers that I've ever come across as well. His demeanor has always been amazing to watch. We were on tour with him in 2008. I thought 2018 in Europe. And I just remember seeing how he operated.
Yeah.
He was always like, there's a lot going on,
Yeah.
obviously, but he always just operated with a lot of poise.
Yeah.
What do you think makes a great manager in 2025?
I think that poise is important. You know, I recently had a situation where it was going to be an uncomfortable conversation that I knew could, not with an artist, with someone, and I knew that if I allowed myself to become heightened, that the conversation would have gone left, and I think it's important to keep your poise. And I agree. I think that's one of the strong suits Tyler has.
Yeah.
Tyler stays like this, man.
Always.
And I try to as well, all the time. You know, I don't try to get too high or too low. Sometimes you have to, you know. Sometimes you have to, but yeah, I think that's really important for a manager to be. You got to be consistent.
Yeah.
You know, because artists are like this.
Yeah.
And they should be.
Yeah,
They need to
absolutely.
be. They need to experience all those highs and lows so they can write the best record for people. You know what I'm saying? That
They feel harder.
yeah. But that's their cross they say.
That's
Yeah, makes them great.
right.
You know. So yeah, you know, my job is to stay even.
Yeah. Is there anything else that you find that like this is just from even the other managers that you've been fortunate to be around now at Range, where you see these key traits where, you know, this is a really good thing that I want to apply to my own experience?
Yeah. I think just passion, bro.
Yeah.
You know, like you gotta be passionate about this because it's not easy.
No.
It's not, you know, like, and it's tough to even explain what we do, you know, to everybody. Like my aunt the other day, she's like, "So what is it you do again?
Yeah.
How are you involved in this?" I was like, "Well, I manage the careers of these amazing people."
Yeah.
And well, so you get them record deals? Like, yes, but everything else that comes before and after that, you know. So
Yeah.
you know, it's hard, and I think even artists, like I said earlier, like the nuance of giving them what they want, but also making sure they have what they need from a political standpoint at the label, at the partners, at the radio stations, at the Grammys and the Brits and everything else that comes with it. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a lot of push pull that managers have to deal with.
Yeah.
You know, so again, you got to stay even through it and don't let one thing affect the other.